Hello. The reason why the videos have been very short when I go to see my mum for the first visit over the last 2 days is that she's been having sort of like a bit of a stronger dimension set of days, which is fine. You know, it always goes up and down. The graph of being worse is not a direct line up, and the graph of getting better is never a direct line down. So it was just one of them two bad ones. But as of today, when I walk in, as in tonight, because remember this morning she was very tired. This afternoon she's actually much better. And I always give it percent, and I reckon she's 85 to 90%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask her permission if I can ask her questions about how it feels when she's having a bad dementia day. And the reason for this is, let's just say it's just me and her, even though there are other people around us sometimes. If it's just me and her, then I know my feelings about what's going on and I know how to deal with me. And obviously when it's happening to my mum, she knows how she's dealing it with inside her. But that still doesn't mean that if you're the caregiver, you don't know how they're feeling. You don't know what's inside them. You don't know how it's making them feel, not feel, happy, sad, confused. So now my mum's much better today. If I ask her those questions, it means that if it ever happens to you when you're taking care of your loved one, you'll understand how they are feeling, and it gives you a better opportunity of knowing how to deal with it and what to say. Anyway, so let's start. Afternoon, Mother.
Good afternoon.
Okay, how are you feeling today out of 100?
Much better today.
So
out of 100.
Yeah, or where a 10?
Can we just say much better?
Okay, much better. So I'd say you're like 30 to 50% the other 2 days, and today you're about an 80 to 90.
Yeah.
Okay, good, fair enough. Then. So do I have your permission to ask you questions about how you felt over the last 2 days?
Of course.
Okay then. So, how does it feel when your head's in another world, when your dementia hits you? What does it feel like inside?
While you believe that the other place you're in is the real one, it's very frustrating because nobody else can see where you are and don't believe you if you tell them. So you feel like you're facing a one-man army trying to persuade everybody that what you're saying is true. Eventually it sort of breaks away and the world becomes much more realistic.
Okay.
And as you say, one of the other things that happens then is you want to go to sleep.
Yeah. So it's very tiring.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the reasons saying you can always tell if like what I call a dementia attack hits. Is because generally the person who's suffering from it gets very tired. It's either tired that kicks it off or something beforehand that kicks it off makes them tired. And then during it they are very tired. And also I said with some people, with my mum for sure, I don't know other people this happens, their hearing seems to go as well, where at the moment I'm talking to my mum at a reasonably sensible volume. When the dementia thing kicks in, I mean I'm screaming at the top of my voice just to say hello. So let's try another question. When you're out of it right now, does it feel better, worse, or the same?
Everything's better in this world.
Yeah, in this world, exactly. So it feels like a different world you're in.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you believe, say, for example, one of the things you were telling me 2 days ago was that President Trump was in your room because you're watching the news and Trump was on it.
Yeah.
So that was where you got locked in your head. That President Trump was in the room and he was talking to you and talking to me, and it was all very interesting. And then when I said to you, I don't think he was in the room because I know he's actually in Mar-a-Lago at the moment. Was that confusing, aggravating, both of them? Or eventually you go, oh yeah, Peter's right, he can't actually be here because he's 6,000 miles away?
Aggravating.
Okay.
Because it made me feel like I was a child telling fairy stories.
So when it did come back to where you realised, you were like imagining it, so how did that, do you think that me telling you that he wasn't here was the right thing to do? Because when you did come back, it made sense. Or if it just went along with it, that yes, obviously President Trump was in the room for the entire day. When you come out of it, would you think that would confuse you more or less? Or you don't think it matters?
It's better when it does all come back to being normal.
Okay, so you like that, the road to know how to get back. Okay, good. Again, it's always learning. So I've picked up from being with my grandmother and other people that even though it can be frustrating for both people, if you can always try to give them a road or a path back to reality. Now, me and my mum are quite strong personalities, so I can be like, no, it's this, no, it's that, this is fact. It depends on your relationship with the person you're looking after, if you can be that straight. I'm generally a very straight person anyway, so it always works that way for me. But you might have a different way. Maybe you can be more calming, more relaxing, show different types of pictures, lull them into it with some nice words. Who knows, but you have to find your own way. And the last question is, do you find, and I know it's a really weird one of the things with dementia is that eventually other things start to be forgotten by you. And I don't mean your brain, things like blinking, appetite, breathing, these things actually slowly become a problem because your brain's slowly forgetting them. And that's quite a long time away, so don't get scared of it. It's like eventually my legs are going to go like your legs go. It's not an overnight thing. Are you still hungry when you have one of your dementia things? Do you still feel hungry?
I'm hungry right now.
Just gonna ram some food down your mouth. I know, but you're out of it now. But during those two days, do you remember feeling hungry still and thirsty still? So you're completely out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's an important thing about taking care of someone. So one of the things, if you start reading about it, you'll see that when people go through later forms of dementia, what happens is the voluntary things stop first. So voluntary is understanding to pick up your hand, understanding how to walk, but then the involuntary starts next. It's why the most common form of death with dementia is not pneumonia or respiratory problems, because the body just kind of like forgets how to do those things. So the idea what you have to do is they forget to want to eat, they forget to want to drink because they're involuntary things at the starting. So as you further get down the road, it's very important to prompt food, and that's what I said about having repetitious food, repetition food that they know they like, they can always recognize, oh yeah, that's food, and oh yeah, that's drink. So repeated drink and repeated food that they're fully aware of and remember, and you can persuade them, because they haven't eaten for a while, you have to eat, this is what you do, it is what you like, and they'll fall into it. So the last 2 days, I've made sure that my mum's got as much food as she normally have. In fact, 2 days ago, she had double the amount of licorice as normal and about 10 packets of crisps, so that padded the calories in at least. Anyway, so I hope that helps. Speak to you all soon.